Hi everybody, so today it's all about lilac makeup. I love lavender and lilacs and I'm sure many of you do. In fact, I know many of you do. And I've just wanted for so long to do an entire face of predominantly lilac lavender makeup. So I've put together all of my favourites that are lilac lavender themed, and I'm pretty much going to do a full face of lilac and lavender. I had to get this in before we move into summer. We're moving into all those peachy warm tones, and I've really been loving the spring theme with lilac and lavender, so I have to do this. I cannot wait to do it. I can't wait to get started. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I would love it ever so much if you subscribe to my channel. Lots of you are watching without subscribing, so if you could, that would really be ever so helpful to me. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back. I really appreciate you being here. And my skin tone for matching up with these shades, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that lean a little bit neutral, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into the lilac video. Can I just say before I start, I'm having an absolute disaster today. I did overnight curlers in my hair and I wet my hair first, got up this morning and my hair was still wet. So then I thought I'll go in with the air wrap to try and finish it, and my hair was having none of it. So I've ended up just spraying my hair natural curls now and just shoved up. It's just drove me crackers today. I've also got some tan on because I've got such a sort of summery top, but my tan is a new tan and it got caught up in my hands in a way that doesn't normally happen with the ones I'm used to using. So I've got nice tanned, awful looking hands. Well, around the rings. When I put my rings back on yesterday, I thought it had all gone, but clearly not, and it's all collected around the rings. So I feel like I'm an absolute wreck today. So please excuse the state of me. But anyway, let's just get on with this. This is going to cheer me up, I hope. So I'm going to start straight away with something on my lips because I've got very dry lips. This won't be the only product that goes on my lips today, but this is one of my absolute favourites that's launched this year, and this is the one from Chanel, the Rouge Cocoa Balm, and this is in the shade Charming Lilac. I've used this one so many times. If you follow me, I'm sure you've seen me use this one. It is absolutely stunning. So that's given me immediate hydration, and we're already starting on the whole lilac theme, which is a great way to start, obviously. So I've got foundation on and I have set my face, but I haven't set my under eyes, and that's because I've saved this Tarte creaseless powder, and this one is in the shade Lavender. Someone I've mentioned a number of times here on my channel, and sometimes you often ask me when I refer to a lavender shade that I love, which one am I referring to? And it is this one. This is a beautiful shade for brightening under the eyes, if I show you it here in the pot. So if I tap a little bit out into the lid, and I'm just literally going to be doing under my eyes. So I'm going to use my Nikki LaRose brush, the N14, tap a little bit onto the brush, and then set underneath. And you should see, one, that everything is set very nicely, and creaseless is not a term they use lightly here. It really is a creaseless powder. It's a very good one. I don't like to use this one all over the face. I find it a little bit too brightening for the whole face, but it's the perfect level of brightening for under the eye and across the lid. And it really is creaseless. Look at the difference between those two sides already. And there's both eyes done, nicely brightened and no creases. Beautiful powder. Highly recommend this one, especially if you're my skin tone. I think it will really suit you. Well, certainly I think it suits me. I love it. So that's my second recommendation. So now I'm going to move straight into eyes. Now I'm going to show you the ones I'm not going to use, which I think are really good options when you're going for a lilac look. One of them is this one from Dior, the Dior Backstage Celestial Purple. So that's a good option. And obviously, and you probably might have expected me to have used this one today, this has to be one of the newest releases that's perfect for lilac, and that is the Betty from, oh look at my hands, they're awful, from Lisa Eldridge. But I'm not using that one today. I've also got one out, the Spring Dragon palette from Odin's Eye. This was last spring, I believe, and this one is all spring colours. Look at that, beautiful. But again, I'm not using that one either. I could use any of these, but I just wanted to show you the ones I got out to consider. So then we have the VISEART Violet, the Vespertine. So this one has more deeper shades, which is definitely why I'm not going to use it, but it does have those sort of deeper shades. I'm not really sure why I got that one out in all honesty, because that's way too dark for lilac. It's more purple, isn't it? So that was a bit of a mistake on my part, I think. Now I did get some one and dones out as well, so I don't know if I'll use these or not, but let me just show you the ones I got. I've got one here from MAC, which is Zero Chill Sparkler Eyeshadow. That one there. I've got one from Colourpop, So Surreal Super Shock Shadow. I love the Super Shocks from Colourpop. So there that one is. And then I've got one from Pat McGrath, Lilac Liaison, the Chromolux Artistry Pigment Pressed Powders. I really like these actually. I never see them mentioned since they launched. They are really, really pretty. So I'm going to keep those three out on my desktop and have a think. Now I've also got out some cream liquid shadows, one from RMS and one from Danessa Myricks. And see, when I get them all out, I just want to use all of them. This one is the Liquid Metals from Danessa Myricks. I love that one so much. Oh, I'm really tempted to use it now. I don't know. And then RMS Eyelights. This is Aurora. This is the sort of shimmery metallic finish, I believe. And the eyelights, I think it is, yeah. The shimmery one. It's not the new one that has just come out. So they're all the eye products I've got out. So now I've got the dilemma of choosing which one to use. But the eyeshadow quad that I definitely decided to go into is another one from VISEART. And this one is a Petit 4 and it is called Lavande. Isn't that gorgeous? So I just think these two in particular, these two shadows are just perfect. So I'm going to start my look today with this shade here. I'm using the Victoria Beckham blender brush, number 20, and I'm just going to take this now into the outer V and then into my crease, slightly above the crease and out here for a nice soft background. I don't want anything too dark today. I want this to be really soft and spring-like. And I'm running it underneath with my Wayne Goss number 6 all the way across. And I think I'll take a little bit of this strongest purple on the side of this Wayne Goss brush and just start to put a little bit of depth here into the outer V. Not too much, as like I said, I want to keep this nice and soft. I just thought now another really good palette to use would be the Love palette that Morgan Turner did with Odin's Eye. If you've got that one in your collection for doing a lilac look. The shade's very similar to this in that one as well. And that is a beautiful palette. I'm taking a little bit on the tip of the Wayne Goss and running it just under the first third. And for my waterline, which I'm just going to do quickly, I've got the Glossier pen here. This one is in the shade Muse, which is a soft lavender. So I'm just going to pop this in the waterline now. Glossier have some lovely pastel shades for eyeliners, by the way, if you're ever looking for them. Glossier and Colourpop, I think, are the two best. They're the best I've found for pastel shades. So now I need to decide what I want to put on the lid. I'm very tempted by Danessa Myricks, I have to be honest. Maybe I could do Danessa Myricks and something else. So the Danessa Myricks is the Liquid Metal. So here is the Danessa Myricks Lilac Flame. Just look at that, isn't it stunning? So I'm going to use a flat, small brush here. This one is the Zoeva 238 Detail Smoky Liner, it says, but that's not how I'm using it. So I'm taking a little bit of this off the back of my hand. I'm going to start painting this onto the lid. I'm going to stop here because I'm going to introduce one more, I think. It's hard to resist not playing with a few of these. Just look how beautiful this one is. It's quite sheer, so it's not sort of too much, but we are going for that light look, like I said, so I quite like the way it's sheer. You could also have a base shade underneath this one and use it as a topper. If you've never tried these, they dry down quite quickly. Very easy to spread out though and work with, but once they've dried down, they are locked down until you go to bed. These will not move. I'm trying to take it just a little bit above because I want to see a little bit of sparkle above my hooded eye. And now I'm going to go back into the VISEART and take the shimmer here onto my BK Beauty 207. And I'm going to take that into that very inner corner and the first sort of third of the lid, just sort of meeting with the lilac flame a little bit there. Look at that for the inner corner pop, it's lovely, isn't it? And I'm taking this one under the brow as well, it's the perfect sort of shade for it. Now I want to go in with the slightly darker liner, and I think if I go with purple it might just be a bit much, so I am going to slightly break the lilac rule and go in with the Jeans shade from Victoria Beckham. This is one of her newest shades. This is just a Satin Kajal, I believe. Yeah, Satin Kajal finish. I'll show you how that looks on the back of my hand as well. You can see it there with the Danessa Myricks. I think these shades work well together. So I'm going to take this just beneath the waterline a little bit here and then up for a slight wing. Not being very careful because I'm going to smudge it. And then taking it tight here to the lash line. I'm taking the smudger from the bottom here. Just softening the edges all over. I don't want any harsh lines. Keep this soft all over the whole look. And then I've got a tiny bit left of the Danessa Myricks on the back of my hand. Hopefully it's not too dry. And I'm going to go back in with exactly the same brush I was using and just take this ever so slightly over this liner. Just to add a bit of that sparkly lilac on top of the Jeans liner. I just love that sparkle. I still feel like I can't quite resist using at least one of those single shadows I showed you, even though I feel like I'm done. So I think I'm going to put a tiny bit of this Colourpop So Surreal Super Shock shadow onto my little finger, and I'm just going to put a little bit there in the outer V. Oh, look at that. I need to be careful because I'm going a bit mad, but I've got them all out now and I just can't resist. So my camera has just completely failed on me and I don't know at what point it failed, but I'm going to show you what I've done. Apologies for everything you've just missed. I was looking at the liquid blush I wanted to use, so I went with this one here from NARS. This is in the shade Wanderlust and this is a perfect lilac blush. So I put about 4 dots of this on because this one really does sheer out and it's not particularly deep, but it's a beautiful one. It works really well on top of powder, and here it is sheared out on the back of my hand. And then to calm it down I used an absolute favourite of mine, the Chanel Lavender. Is it called Lavender? It is Lavender, yeah, Lavender, the Terre blush that launched last autumn. Something that I don't use as a blush, I use it as a corrector to try and calm things down. But today what I did is I applied the NARS using the thinner end of the F4 brush from Mario, tapped it all in, and then I went in with the wider end of this, tapped onto that and just went around the edges to soften the edges rather than calm the colour down, because it really didn't need to be calmed down. And then I was deciding which highlighter to use, and I was looking at the options of the Dior, the new Dior, and this one's in the shade Lilac Mania, the Dior Luminizer, and I couldn't not go with this. So I went for this using this thick end of the F4 brush again, and I tapped it like a blush topper over the lower sort of section of my cheek. And then I went in with the Dior Forever Glow in the shade Lilac, the Glow Maximizer. I'll show you on the back of my hand how that one looks. It is so beautiful, and that is what I'm wearing now, which I applied using the thin end of the Mario F4. I applied it here on the tops of my cheeks. I'm so sorry it didn't record, but I'll show you it on the back of my hand. So there it is, alongside the NARS, and the two of those, I think they work together really, really nicely. I love this lilac in the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. Just look how gorgeous it is. I mean, it's very, very impactful in terms of the shimmer, so you do need to be aware of that. So if you don't want quite as much shimmer, I would go with the powder Dior. But if you're happy to go for maximum shimmer, which is what I've done today, you can go both, or just go with the Glow Maximizer. But anyway, beautiful. So I think I've used all, oh, there's one more I didn't use, which I can show you, which is the Gucci actually. This is another beautiful option for a highlighter. It's not a blush, and this one is called Frosted Lilac, so that's another option as a highlighter, but it's not for me as pretty as this one from Dior. I would choose the Dior over that one, but it is really, really nice. Right, so now the dilemma of lips, which will complete my look, but just before I do that, let me go back and add this purple mascara onto my lashes now that they've dried with the black mascara on. Let's just see if we can see that purple a little bit. I think I can actually. I don't know. Yeah, I can. I'm seeing it a lot better actually on top of the black. I really don't know if the camera will pick up on this. Let me get a bit closer to see if you can see it. Hopefully I've managed to show you that by zooming in when I edit, because I can definitely see it, which I love. I think that's really good fun. That's definitely how I'll use this on top of black. So you get that sort of depth from the black, and then you just add the purple on top, and that's how you get to see it. How cool. Huge brush, but it's okay, it's working. Again, let's just let that dry down and finish the lips. So one of the ones I really, really wanted to use was this one from Makeup Forever. This one is absolutely beautiful. It's called, gosh, I can't read it. This is the Super Boost 03 Lilac. I think it says Festival Lilac, but I'm not sure. It's so small. I can't be bothered to get my glasses. I do apologise. This is in a pearly finish. Just look at it, it's absolutely stunning. So this is a true favourite, and this formula, this new formula that's come out from Makeup Forever is gorgeous. Look at this. Now if you know me, you know that I've been buying every lilac lipstick on the planet, so I'm not going to go through all of them. I've just selected favourites here, so I knew I'd have to choose a favourite. So I've already got one favourite on, which is the Chanel, and I really like that as a base, but I have to then go in with something that is my number one. But another base that would have worked nicely is this one from Bobbi Brown. This one is a lot more of a soft base, more pastel, non-sparkly finish, but this one is a beautiful, beautiful milky sort of finish. It's really, really nice. I think I got this one last year, but I've used it on and off quite a bit. I really do enjoy this one. This is called Plump Lip Serum, and it's called Bare Lilac, the shade from Bobbi Brown. So there it is on the back of my hand. Quite hard to see, but honestly it has a lovely milky finish on the lips. It is beautiful. And another one, which I love again, is from Dior, the Dior Maximizer. This is shade 063. Another really lovely lavender shade from Dior. Not quite as sparkly as the other ones I've shown you, but it gives you a lovely lilac finish. So if you wanted a more soft finish with less sparkle, that's another option there. Beautiful. But if you know me, there was only ever going to be one brand that finished this look, and it's the brand for me that has absolutely taken my number one spot for lip products, and that is Fenty. I don't know if I can choose between the two. I might even have to go with both of these, because they've recently launched this one, which is the Lip Oil, which is a lot more sheer. And then we have the Shimmering, which is also very new, the Gloss Bomb Stix in the Shimmering finish in Lilac. So it's actually called Ice Amethyst is the name. There it is in all its glory. So let's just get this one straight onto my lips. And unlike so many lipsticks, when they promise a sparkly finish, when they show you a sparkly finish on the website, Fenty actually delivers, because look at that sparkle on my lower lip. And now for the top lip. There is Ice Amethyst. Isn't it absolutely stunning? And I love it on top of that Chanel. It is such a perfect combination. And the Chanel one has a little bit more longevity, so when this wears off, you've still got that lilac underneath. But you know, I can't quite resist adding a little bit more. Why not? This is the brand new Miss Jellyfish in the lip oil from Fenty. So this one, like I said, is a lot more sheer. Still very hydrating, but not as thick and gloopy as their glosses, so I can probably just about get away with this on top. Oh wow. Just bringing that extra bit of shine, and you know what, it doesn't feel too much on top. I've seen a Fenty advert where they use 3 different layers. I can't remember what the 3 products were now, but 3 different sort of gloss products, one on top of the other, and I'm definitely going to film a shorts reel trying that soon, because it has to be done, a triple Fenty. But anyway, this is a double Fenty with the Chanel underneath, all lilac. What do you think? That's my full face of lilac makeup. Well, wasn't that an absolute joy? Apart from the fact that I've been trying to hide my hideous hands with all this awful tan. Oh, this is why I just don't want to get on board with tan this year. But to be fair, it was a new tan, so maybe I shouldn't have tried it the night before a video. But anyway, apart from the awful tan and all the hair disasters, and I've just had to shove it up, and now it just needs a wash, to be honest. The makeup is bringing everything I needed it to. Lilac makeup makes me so happy, so I'm so pleased to have done this look. And I could do this look every day for the whole year, right? Well, the whole year maybe not, up until autumn. I could skip the summer shades and live in lilac, starting around maybe February. So there we go. I would love to hear from you. What are your favourite products in the Lilac Lavender range? Have you got any recommendations for ones I haven't talked about yet, or I haven't shown you? Because I'm always happy to add to my lilac collection. It is ever growing, and I can't wait for next spring now, because I'm hoping this trend of lilac products is going to continue. We're going to get plenty more of them in the spring next year, because I've absolutely loved all of these lilac launches, as you've probably noticed. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, I would love it ever so much if you hit the like button and the subscribe button if not subscribed. But if you are, you're at the end of another, well, not review, at the end of another video this time. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all so very, very much. And I do hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.